My name is Tim Slagle, and I am the manager of developer advocacy at Zoom. We didn't want to build our own platform to do docs, right? So we were looking for third parties and things like that. And we had these, we went with this a couple different places, and we had load times of, 15, 20, 30 seconds on a page for people in China and things like that. We wanted to kind of remove ourselves from the release process so that we could be faster and move quicker as we grew and as we built our API. It is a service in and of itself. It's Docs as a service, and there's not a lot of people doing that. So our workflow currently with Stoplight is to allow our documentarians to really take what our engineers build and put it into something that, again, is quick, easy to use, and easy to find. So our team roughly saves probably in the area of like 15, maybe 20 hours a week through a couple different avenues. One, we don't have to involve other parts of the business in order to get that release out, right? We can just click a button and it's done. Stoplight really does provide a really easy way to write the docs. Stoplight kind of removes and obfuscates that kind of like the need for you to learn that Markdown language and write in that Markdown language, and you can just write in natural language, and it makes it quicker for people to write, and as well as the review process is quicker as well, because we can go in and everybody can see the edits, and yeah, it just makes things really quick. My favorite feature from Stoplight, I probably couldn't pick one, so maybe I'll give a few, but I think, number one is that inline kind of message request sender. A lot of times, you're building docs and you have to go through the documentation and you say, now you can send this request, and they have to go somewhere else to send the request. Well, in Stoplight, we can just put the request right there. We can pre-fill out the forms, and they can just hit a button and see how it works. Also, the ability for you to define very strictly what your API spec looks like, right? So as you're building kind of that API spec, there's a lot of features in there, and I shouldn't go over every single one of them because I'd be here for hours, but the feature set that is wrapped around kind of that wrapper that wraps around the Swagger spec really makes it easy and quick to define and make your developer or end user kind of understand what's there to like a really full extent, and I haven't seen that anywhere else. Every time we come up with maybe a feature or a feature request, they're taken in with actual kind of salt behind them, and they're not just like, oh yeah, we'll do that sometime, never. It actually usually ends up happening, or they communicate why they can't do it. We're pretty impressed with Stoplight as a whole.